Well, hey guys, Zach here, the high school pastor here at ECU. Just want to give you a couple minutes here for another Devo. And right now, I actually want to talk about what it means to live your life and to play your sport with excellence. So much of sports requires this level of excellence that when we play sports, we want to do things to the best of our ability. But it's so much more than sports. It's actually a big part of life that everything we do, we want to do it with excellence. Actually, Scripture talks about how in anything we do, whether that is sports or that is in school, or whether that is in our friendships, do it with to the best of your ability. And as we think about that and doing things with excellence, I actually want to read a real quick passage to you that shows the importance of why we want to do things to the best of our ability, because it means that God can use it. This passage comes from 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 24. It says, "When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the poplar trees, be on alert. That will be the signal that the Lord is moving ahead of you to strike down the Philistine army." This passage was talking specifically to David, and he was basically talking about how, hey, David, be ready. Listen for the sound of marching, because when you hear that, you know that God is going to go ahead of you and prepare the way for you. And I think about this in terms of sports. When we do things to the best of our abilities, God can use that to go before you and to prepare awesome things ahead of you. Now, sometimes that could be success. When we work hard, when we try and do things with excellence, God can go before us and bless those things, and maybe we'll find success in sports. But I think the biggest thing that we see is that when we do things to the best of our abilities with the utmost excellence, God takes that, He goes before us, and He does big things to advance not our kingdom, but His kingdom and His glory and His witness. Just a quick example from my life. I remember in high school playing basketball that on my team, I wasn't the best athlete. I wasn't the biggest guy. I was actually really skinny. I could get bullied around a lot because I wasn't very big. And so stronger guys would just push me to the side. But I remember that I wanted to work hard and do the best I possibly could at everything. Because as you'll see in sports, and some of you guys see this now, maybe you'll see it later, that to earn the respect and the admiration of your teammates, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the best player, even though we think that sometimes. I have found to earn the most respect, admiration, for people to take notice of you, are you the hardest worker? Are you striving to be the best you possibly can be? And so I remember that even though I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the most athletic, I wanted to be someone on my basketball team that worked the hardest. And so I put in the work at home outside of my outdoor hoop. In practice, I would dive after loose balls, I would take charges, I would do whatever I could. And you noticed over the time that, sure, maybe I'm not the best player. On my team, we had two guys go Division I in basketball. I ended up playing college basketball at a small Christian college, so I wasn't the best on the team. But I found in a lot of ways that guys looked up to me because I worked hard, and I tried to be excellent in everything that I did. And we know that if we try our best and we go with excellence, that there's this promise that God goes before us and can use that. And there are so many stories in my life of ways that God used me to be a light and a witness to my teammates. And so my encouragement for you as you play your sport is to do it to the best of your ability. Do it with excellence, because you never know how God can actually use that to advance His kingdom.